Hey everyone, welcome back to Positively Fishing. Today we're going to take a complete walkthrough through my brand new Alumacraft Competitor 175 FSX. I've had this boat for about 2 months now and it's been absolutely fantastic. Let's get right to it. All right, we're going to start up in the front of the boat, up at the bow, and first off take a look at the trolling motor. I decided to go with another Minn Kota Ulterra on this boat. It's the 80-pound thrust. It is the new Ulterra with the advanced GPS system, and I can tell you that it feels like a significant upgrade over my old Ulterra, which was a 2019 model. One of the big changes for it is this remote. It's no longer a touch screen, and the batteries last so much longer. On my old iPilot Link remote, I'd have to charge that battery every day, and sometimes I'd even have to plug it in during the day. This remote right here, the batteries will last months, and on the back here, this comes off with just this little Phillips head screw here, and there's just 2 AA batteries in there. So really easy to replace if you need to. You can just keep a couple extra ones in case these ones go dead. And then it's no longer a touch screen, it's just these buttons, and the menu system is pretty easy to navigate through. So it's mostly up and down, and then to go into a menu, it's just the arrow to the right, and then menu back to the main menu again. And then you got a spot lock button, autopilot button, you've got cruise control button, and 3 programmable buttons on the bottom there. And then there's a power button on the side, as well as this side button, which for the Ulterra is mostly for stowing and trimming and deploying. Moving on to my front locator, I decided to go with a Helix 9 Gen 4. This is a down imaging unit, and my Ulterra has down imaging built into it. So the down imaging on this unit is coming from the trolling motor, and we'll look at my locator on the console. That down imaging is coming from the transducer and back. So if you're fishing at the front of the boat, you'll be looking at the down imaging in the front of the boat. So that's a pretty nice upgrade from what I had before. Last time I was running all off of the same transducer. Now getting into the boat itself, the bow itself. Right up front, there is a little cubby up here. Keeps the bow light. And there's actually a little bit more room up there if you wanted to throw something in there. And it's really nice access to all the wiring from everything up here. So if you needed to get in there to change out some wirings, if you wanted to change out some accessories, that would be pretty easy. Backing up a little more off to the side of each side, I've got the cargo netting in, and right now I've just got some rope and bumpers on this side. On this side I've got the cover for my locator, I've got a tackle tray, and I've got another rope over here. But that cargo netting is just real nice to just get stuff out of the way and keep things organized, and is just a nice use of your boat space. Also up front, there are 4 storage compartments. Move the trolling motor pedal out of the way here. Starting over here, we've got this storage compartment. I've got 3 adult-sized life jackets in there. They fit a little bit tight, but they do fit. I don't think I could fit much more in. There's a little bit more space down here, but this part up here is pretty full. So again, 3 adult life jackets over there. This side, this compartment mirrors that one. I've just got some rain gear and some extra rope and stuff like that in this compartment. And then right here is the front live well, and it did come with that mesh bait bag, which is kind of nice, that snaps in right here. I like that. And we'll look at the live well drain system in a few minutes, but it's a good size live well up here. On the other side is a real nice size storage compartment. I've got a towel in there, I've got a tote, I've got a first aid kit, I've got my throw cushion, and I've also got, see if I can get the camera pointed right, and I've also got my Minn Kota 3-bank precision charger down there, so I can charge up all of my batteries all at once. So that's really nice as well. Right now I've just got a standard Alumacraft seat up front. I plan to replace that with more of one of the tall seats to lean against, but for right now I've got that seat up there. And before we go back into the main area of the boat, we'll just take a look at this rod locker here. And this is a big upgrade over the last boat that I have. This rod locker can have 8-foot rods on the top and 7'6" rods on the bottom. And there are 8 tubes, and if you can see right here, as long as you're using rod sleeves, I've got 2 rods in this tube here. And you could put 2 rods in a few of these tubes as long as you're using the sleeves, and you could fit quite a few rods up here. So this rod locker is a big upgrade over what I had before. Underneath the rod locker, that's where my 2 trolling motor batteries are. I have 2 Interstate Group 27 trolling motor batteries. They are just the lead acid. Maybe sometime in the future, I'll think about upgrading to lithium. But for now, that's my battery setup for my trolling motor. Close that up, and we will move into the main compartment of the boat. Stay tuned. All right, as you can see, there is quite a bit of space back here in the main compartment of this boat. And we'll just step down, and we'll start over on the passenger side. We've got a nice tray up here, kind of a catch-all space. If you just need to set stuff down during the day. It's a nice space behind the windshield where things aren't going to blow out of the boat. I end up throwing jigs and plastics that I've been using throughout the day. I've got a line cutters, stuff like that. Very handy for that kind of stuff. Nice big cup holders. I've got a Powerade in here so you can see it fits a full-size Powerade there. And then we've got a nice big glove box that's lockable. And there's a lot of space in here. I don't have a ton of stuff in here right now, but great space for sunglasses and stuff like that. And I keep my remote for my trolling motor in here, but there's a lot of space in here. You could keep a lot of things in here, whatever you want. You could even keep some tackle trays in there if you want. And like I said, it is locking, so that's nice. I should also add that this rod locker is locking as well. Underneath the console area, I have the cargo netting, so that's a nice spot where you can throw some coats or sweatshirts or towels or whatever. Or you could throw some tackle trays in there too, whatever you want. But the way this cargo netting works is it just has little hooks on it, so you can move the hook, so you can take it off the hook, do what you need to do, hook it back on the hook, and then everything is nice and secure. Down below, again, this is lockable as well, but it's got a nice drawer. It's a pretty good sized drawer. I just have a spotlight, some baits, and some extra line that I use for backing, stuff like that. But quite a bit of space in there, and like I said, it is lockable, so you could really throw anything that you want in there. Close that up. This right here is the live well drain system. So if I move this over to closed, then the drain on that front live well is closed, so you can fill it with water. And when you move it to there, it's open, so then the water would drain out. Right next to the passenger seat, on the floor, there's a cutaway, and there's actually a lot of space in here. This goes up there quite a ways. I'm not sure if you can see that because I'm just shoving the camera in there. But I keep some bump boards. I have a tripod in there for filming. I keep these towels in there. Quite a bit of space in there. You could put whatever you want. Moving back along the passenger side, right here is the built-in cooler. And if you don't want to use it as a cooler, you can throw the plug in it and you can use it as dry storage. I like it as a cooler. I don't really have anything in there right now, but it does hold ice pretty well, and it's a good size. It does drain into the hull of the boat, so if you have your ice melt and drain out of here, it's going to drain out of your drain plug when you're done for the day. But that's just fine. I never thought I'd really care much about the cooler, but it is really nice to have it in here and not have to bring along another one. Close that up. Moving along to the back, this right here is the Alumacraft mounting system for rod holders and things like that. 2 of these came with the boat, so I've got one on this side and one on the other side. I've also got a few more that I 3D printed at home, and I will throw some pictures of those in the video right here. These Alumacraft ones cost about $50 a piece. Again, these 2 came with the boat. The ones that I 3D printed were free, minus the cost of the 3D printing filament and the mounting hardware. So again, I'll throw a couple pictures of the ones that I 3D printed, and if you have any questions about those, go ahead and leave those down in the comments below. Right here is just another storage compartment. I've got some rod holders down there. I've got my mount for my live, and I've got a marker buoy, but just a nice storage area where you can throw some stuff. Like I said, I like it for my rod holders and things like that. After I got home and started editing this video, I realized I forgot to mention a really cool feature on this boat, and that is these side rod holders. This is the passenger side of the boat, and along the side, it's got a spot for 2 rods here, and if we follow this rod up, there's 2 tubes up there. So it's a really nice spot to keep a couple of rods out of the way. You could use this yourself if you wanted to have a couple rods that you're switching between, keeping them out of the way, or if you've got a buddy along, they can throw a couple rods in there and keep them off the boat floor, because nobody likes getting their rod stepped on. Going towards the back a little bit farther, there's a cup holder here, which is handy because one of my favorite features of the back of this boat is these jump seats. There's 2 of them, 1 on each side, but these jump seats are nice and big, and they fold down to just be the casting deck. So that's really nice. I really like these jump seats. And then underneath this jump seat is where my main starting battery is. With my last boat, I did have some issues with my starting battery. I had a Group 27, and after a long day of fishing, running my electronics all day, it would drain that battery pretty good. So one of the first things I asked about when I bought this boat was a better battery system, and they recommended this Group 31 AGM. It's a little bit more expensive, but so far I've had 0 issues with the battery, and I am pretty excited about being able to run all day or multiple days without having to worry about my batteries dying on me. Close that up, keep going along the back, and on the back is this Suzuki 154 stroke. It's been a great motor so far. My buddy Paul has a Suzuki on his Alumacraft, and he has nothing but great things to say about them. They are super quiet, and so far it's been a great motor. Up in front of that, here's another seat pedestal, and right here is actually for the ski pylon, because this does come with that. I don't know how often I'll use that, but it is there. I'm thinking about turning it into a camera mount or something. Right in front of that, I've got a live well opening, and so this in the back is a nice big live well, and it gets even bigger. We've got this jump seat over here. Again, really nice jump seats. And then underneath this jump seat is the rest of that live well. So that live well goes about 2/3 of the back of the boat. So this is a nice and big live well. You could fit plenty of fish in there. I don't keep a lot of fish, but if I ever want to keep any, or if I want to use it as a bait well, I've got plenty of space. Close these up. I forgot to mention over here, right on this corner, right by the gas cap, is this. This is the drain system for the rear live well. So this means I can fill it, the drain is closed. Now it will drain because the drain is open. That's how those work. Along the other side, there's a light down here. Those lights are pretty bright. There's another one up front, right underneath where my Helix 9 is mounted. Moving up a little bit farther, here's another lockable compartment, and it's another rod locker. You wouldn't have to store rods in here if you don't want to, but that's what I have in here right now. I actually have a couple musky rods and a couple crappie rods. I've also got a GoPro pole. This is my stern light right here. My bow light is up in that bow compartment, and underneath the stern light is the ski pylon. That's down below, and that just twists into that base for the ski pylon. Can't remember if I said this, but this compartment is lockable. So both rod lockers, the glove compartment, and both drawers are lockable. Moving up a little bit further to the driver's seat. Got a nice cup holder here. Again, this is a big mug. It fits in there real nice. And got a nice little stereo down here. I haven't used it very much. I'm not much of a stereo guy when I'm fishing, but it is a nice stereo and it's nice to have. On this side, this little compartment right here is a nice place to put your cell phone. It's got a USB and an auxiliary port right here. That's for the stereo. So if you had music on a flash drive, or if you wanted to plug into an aux jack, that's what that's for. Standard Suzuki gauges. And then this is what I was most excited about. This is my Helix 12 G4. When I originally was thinking about getting this boat, I was planning on getting 2 Helix 9s or possibly a Helix 9 and a Helix 7. And when I was looking at the boat with the salesman, he mentioned that 2 Helix 9s are tight up here. He said that they've done it, but it's not the best setup. If anyone has 2 Helix 9s, I'd love to see what it looks like with 2 Helix 9s up here. But what we decided was, instead of 2 Helix 9s, we would go with 1 Helix 12. And I'm so glad that we did. This right here is with the split screen. This is one of my favorite screens right here. I'm in kind of deeper water with real soft bottom, so the side imaging isn't showing up real great right now. But over here I've got GPS. On the top it's got down imaging, on the bottom it's got side imaging. I'd really like these flipped. I'd really like down imaging on the bottom and side imaging on the top, which I have on this screen. I have down imaging down here, side imaging up here, but when I go through and want to add GPS to that, it flips them. And if anyone knows if there's a setting where I can flip these, so I have down imaging on the bottom, side imaging on the top, I'd love to hear that. So if you know how to do that, drop that down in the comment section below, because that would really make my day. So below the Helix 12, I've got the standard gauges. My last boat didn't have a true master power switch. I installed one myself, but this one has a master power switch, so that will turn everything off, including the locator and the front locator. It's also got this accessory switch. That's what my front locator is hooked up to, but the master power switch does control the accessory switch. So if I turn this off, it also turns this off. Got the horn, aerator, automatic and on. Bilge pump. This boat does not have an auto bilge. This one doesn't have that option. My last one did, and that was kind of nice, but I haven't had an issue with that yet. So hopefully I'll never need an auto bilge. Courtesy lights. If it's up, it's these lights. You can see that one's on back there right now. Turn it off, on. When it's dark out, they are pretty bright. And then if you turn this down, that actually turns on the lights in the live well, so that's kind of nice. And then a standard navigate and anchor rocker switch for the lights. Below the driver's seat, I've got the same as the passenger side. I've got this mesh cargo netting, and then another lockable drawer down here where I've got a couple GoPro mounts. Got an extra hat down there, sunscreen, towel, that kind of stuff. And again, both those drawers, glove compartment, and both rod lockers are lockable. Well, that's going to do it for this video. I really tried to do a complete and thorough walkthrough of this boat, because when I was looking at boats, that's what I really wanted. I looked at so many Alumacraft Competitor videos, and there's a lot of great ones out there, so I decided I'd make my own. I'm sure I missed something, and if you have any questions, please leave them below in the comment section. I'll definitely answer any of those questions. And if there's anything that you saw in this video, or any ideas that you have, or any modifications or anything like that, I'm kind of excited about any of that stuff. So definitely leave those down in the comment section below. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't yet, please consider hitting that subscribe button, and make sure to check out our YouTube memberships. We've got a couple different levels, and we'd love to have you as a member of our YouTube channel. Give us a like and leave those comments and questions down below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, this is the place in the video where there's almost always a blooper section, and there kind of is this time. The story behind it is, this is the second time I've recorded this video. The first time I recorded it, I got home to edit it and realized that I left my camera in looping mode, and what that means is it records for 5 minutes, and then after that 5 minutes, it records over it, and it just keeps recording over that until I hit the record button, and then it saves the last 5 minutes. So I spent about half an hour recording a video, and then only had the last 5 minutes of it. So not a true blooper, but this whole video, I guess, is kind of a blooper. Until next time, stay tuned.